Welcome to China Gateway 360, connecting global businesses with China through insights, opportunities, and trends. Today, we're unpacking the blueprint for verifying supplier creditworthiness in China. Basically, we're looking at a crucial framework to help you mitigate supply chain fraud and financial defaults. Let's dive right in. 78%. That's a massive number, right? Well, that is the precise reduction in supplier fraud risk that foreign businesses achieve just by using at least 3 independent verification methods. Relying on a single document, that just doesn't cut it anymore. Mitigating risk today requires a truly systematic approach. And honestly, the reality of the sourcing landscape makes this approach a strict commercial necessity. Think about it. With over 100 million registered entities in China, it's estimated that around 12 to 15% of SME suppliers are operating with undisclosed legal disputes or hidden ownership changes. So systematic verification is simply not optional. So, how do we actually protect ourselves systematically? We use a 4-layered framework. This scales all the way from checking basic government databases right up to deep legal and financial due diligence. And here's a wild stat for you. 73% of fraud cases involve suppliers who actually pass those basic Layer 1 checks, but are harboring hidden risks much deeper down. Speaking of Layer 1, let's look at the baseline, the SAMR database. This is your mandatory, virtually free first step just to verify basic corporate existence and legal status. It takes maybe 10 minutes, but SAMR completely fails to show things like informal debt, trade credit history, or bank defaults. It confirms they exist, sure, but it definitely does not confirm financial stability.
China Gateway. Gateway.
Your gateway to business in China.
Relying solely on SAMR creates this critical blind spot. You end up missing the vast intersection of civil judgments and enforcement actions over on China Judgments Online. To put that into perspective, a supplier with 3 or more unresolved civil judgments carries a 62% higher probability of payment defaults. You absolutely have to cross-check both. Let me show you what happens when you ignore that blind spot. We call it the desktop illusion. There's an electronics buyer who relied entirely on a clean SAMR record. What they missed was that the supplier was hiding 3 undisclosed court judgments on China Judgments Online. Skipping that completely free cross-check resulted in a devastating 860,000 RMB loss. Okay, another major risk is the ownership trap. Picture this. A European manufacturer signs a 2.1 million RMB contract, but over the next 6 months, the supplier changed their legal representative 3 times. Every single change brought new debt and fresh litigation, causing a 670,000 RMB loss. The lesson here? Always require a minimum 2-year stable ownership record. Then there is the asset mirage. This happens when you trust unaudited financial statements. An Australian importer accepted a balance sheet claiming 15 million RMB in assets. Sounds solid, right? Well, a physical site visit revealed the supplier was entirely renting their equipment, which led to a 340,000 RMB lost advance payment. Bottom line, always utilize a licensed Chinese CPA to review original bank statements. To avoid walking into these exact pitfalls, we use this verification diagnostic matrix. It directly compares the primary verification methods by cost, timeline, and reliability. As we saw, a SAM check is fast and cheap, but it requires cross-checking. Now contrast that with a third-party credit report or an on-site factory audit. They cost a bit more, but they offer 5-star reliability by giving you that deep financial and operational context. Applying that matrix gives us a very practical procurement decision tree based entirely on contract value. For routine, repeat orders under 50,000 RMB, a desktop check works just fine. For new suppliers up to 500,000, you need to escalate to medium-depth checks. Crucially, any contract over 500,000 RMB automatically requires full due diligence. That means desktop, physical, legal, and banking checks, no exceptions. It all really comes down to the asymmetry of risk. The cost of a supplier default can easily wipe out 30 to 100% of your total contract amount. In stark contrast, the cost of preventing that disaster rarely exceeds 2 to 3% of the contract value. The return on investment is just immense. In fact, 64% of companies that conduct full checks report 0 significant supplier problems. That's all for this China Gateway 360. Like and comment to receive materials from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.